Have you ever heard of the racketeering story of this hero? Or should I say heroine? She was only the third ever woman to be named on the FBI's most wanted list and made a name for herself for being a total badass. Ironically, she never killed anyone, yet became one of the most deadly people in the US. I wonder why schools don't talk about her iconic days in the 1970s more. Could it be that they're trying to cover up the dark side of her history? What could she have done that was so terrible that the FBI hunted her down for 2 months? See, in 1974, Joan Little was assaulted by a corrections officer while in jail, and when she killed him, she faced the bigger threat to her safety, and that's the American judicial system.
In the early morning hours of August 27, 1974, the body of Clarence Olligood, Beaufort County, North Carolina's lone night jailer, was found in one of the jail cells. The 62-year-old white man had been stabbed 11 times with an ice pick he kept in a desk drawer.
I'm not sure what you know about North Carolina at the time, but white men were rarely seen on the bad side of the law, and Joan Little was a black woman. Though Joan Little claimed self-defense, the courts were pressed to find her guilty and thought she had seduced the jailer to his death.
Well, I think that this is one of the most significant cases concerning any black person in the past 30 or 40 years in the history of the United States. We feel it's so important because it goes to the very heart of the question as to whether or not a black woman has the right to defend herself when she's the victim of a white, racist, sexist attack.
Many disheartened people attended the courtroom that day, and in a stunning turn of events, Joan Little was acquitted. The verdict stunned everyone. Except our heroine, though. The person who helped Joan Little's case as a law consultant was a former FBI agent. But that's not even what got her on the most wanted list. That happened 4 years before that in Marin County Courthouse. Jonathan Jackson, the younger brother of her friend, registered a gun to her name, with the best intentions, of course. Look, at the time, black people holding guns at their side was a symbol of war in a heated civil rights battle. Then, Jackson held the courthouse hostage, and in the ensuing fight, 4 people died. Not good, but remember, the gun wasn't registered to Jackson. The FBI had one name on their list and circulated one name all over the United States, and that name? Angela Davis. Despite the intense security and danger, Davis refused to back down. She went underground to evade capture, becoming a symbol of resistance for many on the left. After a nationwide manhunt for 2 whole months, she was eventually arrested and put on trial.
The whole apparatus of the state was set up against me. They had all of their resources, and the FBI, the police, and they really meant to send me to the death chamber in order to make a point.
But her case became a cause célèbre, and she was eventually acquitted of all charges. Angela Davis. Imagine being such a badass that the FBI couldn't find you for 2 whole months, and you still escaped the charges. Free Angela rang everywhere, and such an incredible story brought some unlikely characters together. Jay-Z, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and James Lasseter produced a film entitled Free Angela and All Political Prisoners. This one film was the first time that these names were heard on a movie, but that's the power of Angela's story.
Is the time of the Black Panthers past?
The Black Panthers still exist, and the Black Panthers are still extremely active. And you walk out on the street every day seeing white policemen surrounding you. When I was living in Los Angeles, for instance, long before the situation in L.A. ever occurred, I was constantly stopped. No, the police didn't know who I was, but I was a black woman, and I had a natural, and they, I suppose, thought that I might be a, quote, militant. Some very, very good friends of mine were killed by bombs that were planted by racists.
As she continued to travel and speak, her ideas reached a wider audience, and her reputation as a powerful and influential voice in the struggle for human rights grew. Her teachings and writings became widely read, and she was in high demand as a lecturer and speaker at universities and other venues all over the world. For a long time, she lectured at the University of California regularly as an academic powerhouse until 2008. Despite the relentless pursuit of the authorities, she never lost her spirit or her commitment to her cause. She's written many books over the decades that continue to be sold and read all over the world. To get her to speak on stage, she'll charge a minimum of $50,000. That's not bad for a former FBI Most Wanted. Today, she's considered to be a millionaire, with a net worth estimated to be well over $1 million. This woman was none other than Angela Davis. Her legacy continues to inspire new generations of activists and remains a powerful force in the struggle for justice and equality. One of her favourite sayings inspired this channel in order to share the knowledge of the rich and powerful with everyone and making information accessible. The real criminals in this society are not all of the people who populate the prisons across the state. but those who have stolen the wealth of the world from the people. That's why this channel is for the people. Remember, people, you're only one decision away. We picked out this video specifically for you on how I lost $10,000 on rent in NYC. Watch it here.